establishment is beautiful. And I was shocked. When I first seen it, I was like, wow, this is nice. But I saw the activity that you were talking about, and I was wondering, because I have a brick and mortar, and that's something that I anticipate having to deal with, that activity kind of thing. Is there anything, how do you all deal with that activity? Does it come into your area or shop?
Well, currently I'm actually the president of the Old Redford Business Association. So we've been really trying to gather the community together on that block to unite the community, which is very difficult being one of the youngest persons, my sister and I, the youngest business owners over there, trying to bring people together that are our parents' age. They're looking at me like, who are you? Seriously. So that's been the obstacle. But we've been working, when we say activity, we're talking about a little shady activity. If we are on the same level here, okay? A little shady activity that, happens when, you have underserved areas that want to find other ways to make money. So we have been working with the police department and things of that nature to really counteract that negative energy, and also not even just the police, but just putting people to work, giving them another option, another alternative, so it's not just get arrested and then be about your business, because it's a higher, it's those little guys, there's more people, above. So that's something that we do, and my mom always, everything is in prayer. I don't know about anybody else in here, but my mom does everything in prayer, so we always pray about things like that. But we just have to make smart decisions, and because some people have been there longer than they think they've been longer than us, so it's just banding together and figuring out if you have more people in your area that want to start a group or start a business association to actually come together so that you can figure out how to counteract those negative things that might be happening in your area. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, yes it does. Thank you.
Can I add to that? I'd like to just briefly add to that. I'm fortunate to have a business in Midtown where we also, in addition to the city police, we also have Wayne State University Police. And I'll freely admit that was really one of the huge considerations of me opening a business as a single female, in a city. It's a city like any other, like Chicago, like New York. This is really a city of neighborhoods, and to get an idea of what's going on, you have to look neighborhood by neighborhood. I think that, and this is coming from I feel grateful for the police protection that I do have, but we still, we're squeaky wheels. If you feel that you're not getting the adequate protection that you need for your business, you make a relationship maybe with the local, not precincts, they're districts now. District, is that the term? District, not even precinct. You go to your district commander and you build a relationship with them and say, hey, can you step up patrols on my block? And sometimes there's really not much you can do other than just remember that the reason you're there is because you are attracting good traffic into that area. And if you weren't there, that area would be worse. So I've been to your place a lot, as you can see, and I love going to the Redford Theater. But yeah, sometimes like walking back to my car, after dark, sometimes it's a bit sketchy, and it's tough because even though that activity may not come into your door, your customers feel it when they walk back and forth to their cars. So even if it's not in your door, I think it's still something to be conscious of.
If you prefer to say your own question, that's fine. I'll just go around, okay? But if you prefer the card, raise your card up, okay? And we'll read it.
For you two ladies over there, can you talk about Naturally Fly Detroit and why you started that as a side to your sweet potato sensation?
Cool beans. Okay, so we moved across the street from our walk-up business 3 years ago. And we had this cafe space, and so we were kind of wondering, like, okay, we can start an event. And being young and vibrant and whatever, my parents, they're not old, but they're older. They're kind of like doing things a certain way, so we're trying to add a new little energy to how we do business. And so we were thinking about what kind of events we could actually host and have in our business. So we can have a book club or Bible study or stuff like that. We're trying to think of something that we're both kind of passionate about. And so we're really into fashion and natural hair. And it's just really wanting women to be who they are naturally, starting with their hair is where it started. And so my sister is always on a lot of the hair boards, and she was saying, you know, we should start doing a natural hair meetup in the bakery. And I was like, oh, okay, we can do that. I know some people, we can all get together and just sing Kumbaya in the corner in the bakery, drink coffee, and talk about hair. So we were like, okay. So we just kind of got nervous, like if we do this event, is anybody gonna come? And we're trying to figure out ways to bring business into the bakery because it's not, we don't get a whole lot of foot traffic in the area. So people, it's like a destination. People come, they see us, and then they leave. But we're trying to create that kind of vibe in the air with we have a vintage shop over there now, and we have the shoe repair and the sewing machine repair and the beauty salon and the pharmacy and the Java House coffee shop. So we're creating a more of a destination where people can come and actually spend the whole day in the area. But at that point, there really wasn't that, going on. So we finally planned a date, and we just said we're gonna do this natural hair meetup, and we posted on Facebook. And his favorite place to post things on Facebook. And we had like 80 to 100 people RSVP in like 2 weeks. And we were like, okay, so what do we do now? So we basically decided that most black women got their hair done in the kitchen, fried out and laid to the side. So we moved the natural hair meetup into the kitchen, pushed everything back, covered everything up, all the mixers and ovens and stuff, and we had a natural hair meetup in the kitchen. So that was a way for us to actually generate business because it was good for us. We had a meetup, we brought 100 people in that were not familiar with the area whatsoever, that knew nothing about Grand River and Lost, knew nothing about our bakery, and we brought those people into our bakery. And now we still have the meetups in the area, but we've outgrown. We have over 500 women and men coming from all over the surrounding, not even just Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, North Carolina, people that come from all over just to attend our natural hair meetups. And also within that, we've also set up vendors that are other small owned businesses that are trying to get their themselves out there. And so we have spaces for other vendors to be in the light of 500 women and men coming to a natural hair meetup. So we've made the opportunity for my friends that are artists or that own a business where they make their own items and they can actually come in. And it's still, we have it across the street now because we've outgrown this space. We had it in the kitchen with 250 women in our kitchen, which is totally illegal what we did. It was all good, like the plane, it was all good. So now we have it across the street where we have space to have, but we're even outgrowing that space now. But it's still, we're trying to figure out how to bring more people into the area, and that's how we do it we bring 500 plus women into the area every month or so, every couple months.
All right, I have a few questions on the cards here I'm going to read. One actually for me. I was actually really surprised anybody wanted to hear from me after all this grace. So the question is, will we see other pop-ups in Detroit neighborhoods and communities? The answer is yes. When and where, I don't know yet. It's a brand new program. We've been doing it for about 2 months. It's been an idea I want to start for a long time. So I'm an entrepreneur like everybody else in that aspect, just like Bonnie said, still figuring out. I personally am a huge fan of the Avenue of Fashion. And I think, for those of you who are thinking about starting up a new business, there's just lots of incredible space. Like Rufus said, the zip code's off the charts. I think income density, so when you factor in all the housing and all the incomes, we're in a city, so it's more dense. It's like 8 times higher than the rest of the region. Mm-hmm. Did I mention there's 2 universities over there? There's a lot of great neighborhoods in Detroit. Livernois is an area where we could go, but every neighborhood has opportunity. And I was in a meeting with Rufus on Friday. Build it and they will come. But also talk to your friends and talk them into coming next to you too, because successful retail recruits retail, and that's a key of what we're trying to do with this pop-up program is to fill some of those gaps and really show people what's possible in a space that has been vacant for a long time. So it's just about changing the conversation. And then the other question is, any sorts of spaces or opportunities for the holiday? Absolutely. There's always opportunities, I think, if you have friends in business and you can do something complimentary, do a pop-up in their shop. You know, there's the things, you know, Somerset coming downtown for holiday, things like that. The craft fair, is that what they call it? At the Masonic?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
DIY Fest.
Yeah, DIY Fest, thank you, that's what I meant. But there's lots of opportunities. I think just be creative and just do it.
I would
So,
like to add-
Rachel, yeah, please.
I would also like to add, go where you know. You know, I wanted to open up a retail shop, and in fact, when I first started, I think it was actually you and I that had spoken about, you know, where do I go?
Yeah.
And you had suggested Avenue of Fashion, and it's a great moving area, but I don't know the Avenue of Fashion. I grew up around this neighborhood. My dad had his businesses here. You know, we had friends down Ferry Street that we would do Easter egg hunts in their yard, and, you know, I had an internship at WDET when I was too young to have a driver's license. So I knew this area and I knew the traffic, and I think that's really critical in retail. You need to know your audience. So don't just go anywhere. And the other gratifying part is it's your neighborhood. You get to see what you're doing impacting your neighbors and the traffic around you. So I would say go where you know. A side note, in the Park Shelton, we have a really great space on the rooftop, not just outside, but there's an indoor space. And we also have a lobby that, you know, is kind of underutilized. So we're also throwing around activities of doing pop-ups. So if anybody's interested in doing a pop-up in our space, take advantage of our traffic. We want to help other businesses, you know, even established businesses, you know, do a pop-up and let people know that you're there. We're talking with Detroit Hardware about doing one. We have 400 residents, some of them own their units, and they don't know that there's a great hardware store just up the street that's been there forever. So you don't have to be a new business to do a pop-up. You can be an established business. And Emerald, my pop-up, we've done pop-ups in our pop-up. Think about that.
Yeah, I will second that. You know, let me know, you know, we have one in West Village, we have one in Lafayette, pop-ups and pop-ups. I mean, yeah, totally. You know, I think generally where Revolve is headed is where you want to take it. So I'm looking for any great ideas, inspiring people to work with. I have a quick question.
There's one follow-up to that.
Um,
That's my question. And
Okay.
my reason for asking that is there was a lot of talk about branding.
mhm.
And so when you talk about a pop-up and you talked about some of the concerns that happen in Lincoln, I live in a historic district just north on Woodward, Boston, Madison.
Okay.
And we're surrounded by Woodward as well as Linwood. There's space on Linwood. I have not given up on Linwood. But my point is, from a standpoint of branding, you want people to come to a walkable community. So I understand why you selected the first neighborhood. I know that this is a project of Detroit Economic Growth Corporation. Other than Avenue of Fashion, love it, go there, whole 9 yards. What other communities have walkable, stable communities where I, as a potential pop-up company or store, can go in for a month and feel comfortable that DEG is focused? That's my second.
Okay.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, I'll take a first pass at that,
Go ahead.
Rufus, I'll hand it over to you. I mean, you know, there is a lot of great walkable retail districts in Detroit, regardless of what people say. I'm a believer in that. You know, some are farther along than others, okay? So I just moved to Southwest Detroit. I love Southwest Detroit. Verner and Springwells, great area.
Hubbard Farms, former
Harvard
resident.
Farms, please come there. I will help. I live right down the street. You know, that's a great area because it has some of the best food in the region. For some reason, not enough people talk about it, okay? Old Redford, I love that area. I will go eat, I will skip dinner and eat sweet potato pies all day long. Jefferson and Chalmers, I think, has a ton of potential. You know, in West Village, we had a block full of vacant storefronts. Most people would say, no way I want to be the first in. Well, you know, one of the benefits of Revolve is recruiting everyone at once. So when, you know, you have a blank block, invite your friends. You can control the mix. That's what makes retail work. So Jeff Chalmers is great. I mean, there's lots of areas. You know, I'm certainly open to ideas. That's part of the process. I mean, it's a pilot program right now, so we're trying to figure it out. So please do talk to me, email me, give me ideas, and we'll go from there. Rufus, do you want to follow up?